Gosh, first frame of the title match. Just came off of 300. The last time I did this, the last game did not go exceptionally well. I think the hardest part actually is to manage your emotions after I basically just won the same prize check as winning the tournament in the last game, and but it's still the Japan Cup, and you know, in a lot of our minds, it's still a major of sorts, being kind of a year-long achievement to earn your way there. So pretty good news. The first shot came off pretty good and actually looked like it was on purpose. That doesn't always happen. Got a break. Mike threw probably 8 or 10 shots. This is a wood surface. They hook extremely early, and our tight down lane, this place has got to be 50-year-old wood.
He's going to be hooking the lane a little.
A really good start for him. The big surprise here is actually Mike played much straighter most of the time. He and I probably played as straight as anyone did consistently, and he chose on the show to just get left of everybody and go really slow and go around it. Some of the biggest challenges are when you have that much versatility is figuring out which tool you actually want to use. And he just beat me in the Masters about 6 months before that, maybe 8 months before that, actually lofting it and throwing it straight up the gutter, which kind of became his go-to thing on TV. He felt like he was more bulletproof that way than any other way. But Liz had already bowled on this show. Stu had bowled on this show playing very straight. I'd moved just inside of them. To be honest, I was very surprised to see that he decided to move that far inside of me. And but his ball reaction all through practice was really good, and he wasn't having any trouble hitting the pocket. As you'll notice here, there is no shot clock in Japan, and so he is. And I am thinking about the sushi I had the night before, maybe. I'm not sure. No idea. Notice one of the Japanese customs is actually to close your eyes when you're listening, so they're not actually sleeping. That's actually a way to pay attention. However, no, it's talking, so I don't know why that.
Slowed down a little bit over the last year or two.
You can see he's at least 10 left with his feet than I am, and it chose to finish on that left lane. If I remember right, that left lane hooks a little bit more, and with the slow wheel, I guess he felt like that was a bigger advantage. So back there, once again, first shot on this right lane. This is the lane I finished on. I threw one to the right in the 11th shot that made it back from nowhere. I'd been with Global for exactly 1 week when this tournament happened, and if I never see another one of those in my life, I'll be okay with that.
Happy there, and then a couple shots ago. But
just going back through this has been the TV pair for the Japan Cup for as long as I can remember, and this is the first time back in this building at that time in about 10 years. And I think I've left at least 3 8-pins on this right lane on TV, including one to Robert Smith in the match that he beat me by 6 or 7 pins in. The second to last time we bowled in this place. So, because technically this is not the Japan Cup, this is DHC Japan Invitational. Although the format is the same as the Japan Cup, and we pretty much consider it that way. See, I'm using respect there. Like I said, I've been on staff for all of 7 to 10 days. I think this might be like January 10th, give or take. And right now, it looks like it's almost on purpose. So unfortunately, I'd much rather have the front 3. Mike looks like he's really lined up. He left a ring 10, another strike. This is, I guess, a flat 10. This right lane is pretty tight down lane. So.
I was told years ago that your ball rolling out about 2 feet, 3 feet in front of the pocket is the best way for it to enter the pocket.
Good start. Feeling like I'm in control. Noticing the nice Argyle pattern in the back of my shirt. It's giving me plenty of time to look it over. And Kirk talking to Junya Yoshida there and discussing what might be for dinner later. It might have been the only, strategic mistake, and that's one of the things that happens in practice when you're a little bit settled down and then the lights come on and you get ready to go. You get just, your heart rate is going to go up. It doesn't really matter who you are. It doesn't matter how many times you've been on the show or even how long you've been on the show. It gets just a touch faster, and it keeps getting behind the head pin. The first time it's the half 10. That time it's the kind of slam 7 thing where it gets in front of it, and two pretty high-end, high-level shots. I'd say he'd probably say they were 85 percenters or so on a pretty difficult scale, and neither one of them struck. And that's always been a hallmark of this building. In general, it's been very tough to really create a lot of back end there and score well. Pete's title there came when he was playing straight, when he was Mike's age, with a urethane ball, and he didn't have a ton of success over the years, given the fact you'd think it's early wood, it's wood, it hooks early, it's tight down lane, and Pete can create more angle, but angle doesn't strike in this place much, and it's one of the reasons why, even though my ball hooks early all the time, it seems like, in this place it actually strikes more often than others because I'm not trying to hook it down lane very much. You see why Mike picked the left lane to finish on. His ball's having no problem making it through the pins there. So now I'm happy I don't have a lead, but I have an opportunity to take the lead here. A little disappointed that Stone 8 has stopped me from being 20 pins ahead already. But comfortable here, basically high flush or very close to it now for about 15 shots in a row. Hey, what could go wrong?
Yeah, it's just a matter of time until he goes into that Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah. And anytime you stay in the same spot for that many shots in a row, I guess it's coming. But you expect a little more warning than that. So one of the downfalls of playing more of the early hook and using that is when it starts to dry up, and then it jumps out of the kind of the slot of the pattern pretty quickly. So 310. This thing might as well be moving in the middle of my third step because it's a tough spare anyway, and it's really tough in this building. That has no chance, except that I missed it by so far that I made it anyway.
He's not entirely thrilled with that frame.
Maybe some kind of weird inverse karma. When I bowled Robert Smith, like I say, it's probably 10 or 11 years before that. The year before I won, I bowled Robert Smith. He only needs a mark in the 10th frame. I ironically stoned 8 in the 9th frame. I get the double in the 10th to make him mark. He leaves the 310. He stands up and hooks at it, which I'm like, oh my gosh. It was a 6-man step ladder, so there's so many games. This lift lane is easy. Wish he'd let me finish on that lane. There's so many games on it by now. They are hooking unbelievably early in the front. There's no hook right of 8. He stands up 3 seconds after this ball comes back, picks up his strike ball. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to hook at it. This is Robert Smith. His rev rate's 560. There's no way. He throws it. It hooks off of 12 on the way by, and it starts to stand up and go straight. And I'm like, it's going forward. I'm like, I won. I physically see it in my mind. I see it hit the 3-pin and miss the 10 on the way by. I blink and I look up and the 10 is gone. And how did that happen? Maybe one of the better spares for a win. I mean, short of Norm's making the bucket for the U.S. Open is probably the best one ever. That's literally no one wants any part of that. This is a pretty brutal break. Actually, Mike's thrown 5 really good shots, 2 high flush on the left, 3 instead of 17.5. They've hit 16.5. 16.5 and now 17, and he's gotten no strikes, which with that much angle, you would think at least 1, if not 2 of those, which should strike.
We have a potential to touch 200 times.
As many times I've been on TV, I can't believe it hasn't struck at least twice. You can see me in the background. That's Mr. Watanabe there on the left side of your screen. He is about 92 years old. He is the head of ABS, American Bowling Services, which is Global's distributor over there, and they're the most powerful and biggest distributor in Japan. Went to his 50th. That's one of his salesmen there. You see Mr. Chrisman on the other side. Hit a storm. Can't quite see Mr. Watanabe. He's a little bit left. Todd Book in the background. Thanks for opening the camera up there. That was perfect. That's Mr. Watanabe on the left. his 50th anniversary of his company, he stood up and gave a speech for 20 minutes off the top at 93 years old. And it was as funny and witty and on point. And I can only hope to be that sharp and alive and with it as he is. Probably the first even marginally bad shot for Mike in the game, and that's human nature. The ball keeps getting too long on that right lane, and we all do the same thing. At some point, you're going to make it pick up a little bit sooner. On the left lane, he didn't need to and went a little bit high. Just a little 4-pin, so all things considered here, I've had one bad break, but I had one very good one and got 10 of the 20 pins back with the 310. And a chance to throw a double here and go up by 11. But first, after the 310, you have to go through and decide, okay, first thing, hey, what happened? All right, it hooked. Was it me or was it the lane? Thrown 15 pretty good shots in a row. I'm gonna go with it was the lane. So I'm gonna make about a 3 and 2 move here. So it's 3 boards left with my feet, 2 boards left with my eyes. Running that through my head right there. Moving left, picturing the shot. And now we're going to go. Deeper on the lane.
A little bit of a move.
A little worried about that. It had a little more angle going through the front than it certainly wasn't shimmed in there. Didn't know if it was going to pick up or not. Halfway through, obviously it picked up, and then so now we're in comfort range. This is time to. There's always a moment in the match you have a chance to put the hammer on, and this is honestly where I failed a lot in matches early in my career for sure, because your heart rate goes up. This is the time to put the hammer on. You can kind of put things away or really at least take control, and my adrenaline would get out of control. With time, I figured out, 1, how to control that adrenaline, and then 2, I figured out what I tend to do in that situation, and that's to get a little bit forward. So now I'm thinking about stand tall right through there. So my head didn't go forward. This is going to be a pretty good shot.
Perfect shot. Great shot.
And that's probably what changed the most from like pre-Mark Baker to post-Mark Baker. So you're talking about 08 or so. I guess, so, I won Player of the Year once already in the second year, but I was still struggling in some spots. They were key. I was making enough shows. I didn't have as much trouble getting to the shows, but I was having trouble when I got on there. Those micromanaged 10-frame situations, and he figured out kind of what my key was. The one thing I did there differently than I did to get to there, and that was rely on my accuracy. I would lean a little forward, and from that point, my swing would get steep and make it hook early, and either hook early and go high, or get through it, but my rev rate would be less because my hand would be on top of it from being forward, and it wouldn't hook down lane. I 2-pin, move off of it, and the 9th frame would be high. 4 frames, you can't give anybody 4 frames on tour. That ball finally does the right thing. At this point, he's probably still thinking he's okay, and I would think he's okay. He's hit the pocket every shot. The 1 4-pin was a little bit of an error, but he's got this lane pretty dialed in. I'm very much a believer of everything equals out. All the good and bad breaks even out. So I'm pretty sure he's striking the rest of the way from here. So he's got 239 left, and I have 260 left. And I'm thinking I have the 1 miss and a chance to tie. Over time, if matches haven't taught me anything, is that pretty much expect the other guy is going to get all that he needs to get, and prepare accordingly.
6 around the 10.
And that's brutal there. That's a little bit. He actually doesn't move left there. He just walks a little further left and then gets it. Pretty common move by today's guys. One with him and Tommy and Bill on Team USA's. For me, I would make a little half-board, 1-board move off the 4-pin. These guys move 2 or 3 and then just go ahead and unleash all the power they have. Again, in this building, though, that move doesn't work nearly as well as it does most places just because it's a little tighter down lane. And it's something that actually Rick Benoit, among others, have talked about, but working from the pins backwards sometimes, how the pins want a ball to be received, how they'll fall over, and then adjusting your angles accordingly. Now, some places when the lanes are harder, you just get there however you can get there and worry about it later. But in this place, actually getting it rolling forward and being a little straighter tends to be a little bit better. So again, here's a chance to really take control of the match.
20-plus years. Starting to call him Grandpa out there. Ooh. Something got him, or he just didn't feel right. Going through the process.
Who knows what's going on there? I don't know.
But,
water bottles, could have been anything. Who knows?
you're not going to make the best shot possible while you let it go.
Something on the left. But more likely, it's just a lack of focus. I'm talking about resetting something, you know, focusing back in, staying small, hitting the target there. Pretty good. That one got long.
That one got
a little bit of the same thing as Mike. But obviously, I'm not playing that much backhand, so once it gets there, it was in trouble. Hoping for a good break, but not really expecting one. Guy in the mask there, no threat of getting the Zika virus, I guess, from other people. I'm not sure. Zika, you probably don't get that through airborne disease, I guess. So mask won't stop mosquitoes, so disregard that. Obviously, that blue and white screen must have distracted me in my last shot. That's why I had to balk. So, still got 239 left. Mike has a max 219. I'd say it's still pretty much in pretty good shape. I'm on 219 pace. This is a big strike here, though, because it keeps me ahead in count. It keeps me on the count pace for sure. And we had breakdown on the right lane earlier. It took a few more frames to catch up on the left lane. I was already playing it hooking more. If I remember right, I was probably playing it 1 to 2. I might have hooked 2 more to begin with, and so it just took longer for the front to break down there. Not that anything bad's ever happened on TV before, but now I'm doing the math in my head. I'm looking at the score. All right, if I miss the spare 185, my max score is 215. Mike's max score is 219. Are you kidding me? I was in complete control of this match. Complete. It was over. And now if I don't make the 4-9, he's striking out, I'm losing.
If Chris does not convert, everything's in my hands. I have a chance to.
Believe it or not, I've seen it happen before. But, hey, at least I made a good run at it. All right, right in the middle of the 4-pin. Hard to make the 4-9 that way.
Open frame in the foundation for Barnes. And now Fagan will finish first.
And using a lot of positive affirmations right there internally. Lots of positive self-talk. Pretty sure lots of great things are about to happen here.
Even though that
So,
lane picks up a lot sooner than the right lane.
9th frame, I go through my normal process of, hey, what happened? All right, hooked early. All right, what do I need to do? I move 1 left. Oh, yeah, I don't have any more shots that lane. Yeah, okay, good. Nice work. Good timing. Now I'm looking up and I'm saying, okay, Mike has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 counts. All right, this guy's strike percentage when a pocket hits is about 87%. What are the chances he's leaving another one? Oh, yeah, none. All right, so he's literally got to miss the pocket for me to have any chance here. And it's really, that's more flat 10s than he leaves in most seasons when he's doing that, his trick thing. I literally can't believe it. I can't believe I have a second chance here. Oh, yeah, I got a chance. All right, there we go. And so now we start working on, okay, I know he's going to strike on the 10th. I got a double. I got a double on the 10th to win. And so now you go through the whole routine, the visualization, see yourself getting up, making the shot, focusing on my process key, which is to stay tall through my downswing. And I've already assumed he's striking out. And
that shot there for Mike, yes, it hit the pocket. It was left to target. Ball hit flat, had nothing down lane.
Got Dom there in the back. You got Jason posting on Facebook, I'm sure. Maybe Facebook Live with, it's 2015. There wasn't really that much Facebook Live. Yeah, Wes and Mika obviously standing on something much taller since they're so much higher than Dom and Jason, except not. And
Fagan just 3 strikes in this title match.
There's obviously more viruses down there on the low end of the building, way more mass. So 10th frame, here we go. Strikes out 208.
Frame for the title.
That would force me to double and get 3. He puts the big wheel on that one, and
Light 10.
Not many times do you see Mike Fagan leave flat 10 pins with how much rev
at this point he knows he probably made a strategic error. Performance-wise, that's a top-notch game. There was only one shot that was more than,
a nice little payday for Chris Barnes.
I mean, half pocket, and when your rev rate's
5 million yen in his
500 and you're creating that much entry angle,
perfect game in the
at 500 you're basically,
doublet for the title in a
you
way.
see Bill Chrisman walking off the stage there.
Bonus money from the team portion.
So if you ever wonder about the whole
Day.
Storm, a global is kind of owned by Storm and where the allegiances lies, and Bill and I have been friends for a long time.
As Mike has pulled,
He's straight pissed off right now that the Storm guy's not going to win,
I don't know.
or might not win this match.
When he bowled, I mean, to be honest, he bowled a lot of good bowls.
Storm is his baby, and
I'm sure he's going to be very disappointed if he
we're
does not end up winning.
global is independent. It's not in Utah. It's in San Antonio, and we're kind of run on our own and separately from that. So he wants Storm guys to win over Roto Grip guys and certainly over everyone else. And
Somewhat
well, I'm sorry to disappoint him. Maybe actually not that much.
9 forces on the mark. And 9 again.
All right. Well, not that anything ever bad has happened on TV again, but I do still need a mark,
Fagan,
and I did just 4.9.
or correct me, 196.
And there was a time when
Fill the box.
this shot would have been much tougher
Career PBA title.
because I knew bad things had been happening, but I didn't really know how to fix them. At this point, this is one of the best things about working with Mark Bakers. I know what I need to do to make the same shot I would normally make. And so
Chris Barnes.
we're going to go through, we're going to go through the process, a little smirk, smile, lighten up, and I'm going to stay tall through the 3rd step as that ball goes down. Head stays up, and now we know we're pretty much home.
And 6 slaps to 10. Chris
So.
Barnes strikes in the
And really, that ball doesn't hit the pocket any more different than Mike's does, but because it's a little square in this particular building, that just works well.
Invitational trophy.
This place likes my ball, likes the way my ball roll. I think the last 2 times we've been there, I led.
When you win,
This
that's
time
how
I
you
was
wanna win. You
second,
wanna throw strikes.
and you know, it's just there are some buildings just kind of fit certain players for sure.
Hold a great game.
But I believe it was 10 years in between victories in this place in the Japan tournament, and
Chris Barnes, a champion for the
happy, relieved,
time.
thinking about all the stories. You know, you're a week in with a new company, and you win with the ball.
And if you would have bet that
Pretty cool
206
feeling. Kind of a
was
little
gonna
bit of a
be
storybook with the 300. This becomes a pretty big day. This is a
I would have told you you're crazy.
Chris Barnes,
we're filling up a few pocketbooks
title.
off of this one. You feel bad for Mike because he bowled a really great game, except for the fact he beat me for the Masters, and so you know I hate him. But other than that, it's fine.
This headset.
Japan is one of my favorite places to bowl, really anywhere in the world. The hosting, the atmosphere, generally speaking, is fantastic there, and it is one of the places that truly appreciates bowling. Korea right now is probably the other place. It's growing so fast. The most famous K-pop star, which is the equivalent of Michael Jackson once upon a time, he's gone after his KPBA card, and last year when he announced that he was going to do it, they sent 700 balls to his home. His fans wanted to make sure he was well equipped to try and get his professional card, and so there are more bowling centers going up in Korea, any place in the world. There's more tournaments coming up there. Their tour stop is up to 20-some stops now, from right around 8 to 10, only within the last 5 years. So it's growing faster there than really anywhere in the world. It's crazy. So love bowling over there in Asia. It's a lot of fun. You know, I can't wait again. Hopefully the end of this year goes well, and I can qualify for the DHC Japan Invitational again this year. So, hey, thanks for spending 20 minutes of your day hanging out here and watching this, and hopefully we can do another one soon. Thanks.